All right. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. And today we're going to talk about your website. So, our websites, your website, my website, our website as business owners, it's the front door. Okay? It's a front door to our business. It's our 24/7 salesperson, and most importantly, it can be the first impression that someone has on your brand. So the big question we're tackling today is is your website truly building trust with your visitors? And today we're going to have three takeaways. One is the IKEA effect on websites. Two is your content plus the secret sauce. And takeaway number three, it's the magic behind the button. Okay, we're going to talk about that very important button that we have to put a lot of thought into when it comes to our website. So if you're watching live, go ahead and type live on the comments. And if you're watching this on replay, go ahead and type replay. And feel free to ask questions and we'll address it. Okay, when it comes to your website and trust. So, I've always believed that first impressions are everything, whether it be personal or professional. And I bet many of you believe the same thing. But picture this, okay? It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, much like today, and you decide to visit a new local store that everybody's been raving about. But as you walk in this store, there's clutter everywhere. The items are all over the place. There are no clear directions as to where to go. And honestly, it looks like no one has cared for the place in years. Okay, so how would you feel when you walk into this store? So you'd probably feel uncomfortable and you'd probably want to leave right away. Well, your website acts much like that store, but in the digital space. So the moment someone lands in your website for the first time, they are making judgments. Does this site look professional? Can I find what I'm looking for in a short amount of time? Or is it safe to proceed and click around, put in information, whatever it is on the website, right? So if your website takes forever to load, for example, if it has a messy layout or it looks like it's stuck in the 90s, visitors might think twice about sticking around. And it's not just about looks, it's about the feeling that your website evokes in those first few seconds. So a modern user-friendly design doesn't only appeal to the eyes, but it also speaks volumes about your credibility and, most importantly, your trustworthiness. So if there's one thing to take from this is it's to treat your website like you would a brick and mortar storefront, right? You keep it tidy, it has to be welcoming, and ensure that everything is in its right place. If you wouldn't walk into that messy store, why would visitors stay on an unappealing website? So this is just some food for thought, right? As you audit your website. All right, so let's dive into another visual. Imagine that you walk into this massive department store because you've heard that they have the best selection of, let's say, sneakers. I like sneakers, right? So let's say you go to the store, massive selection of sneakers. So it's very exciting, right? The excitement is real. But once you're inside, it's like a maze. There's no signs, aisles are all jumbled up, and the staff seems too busy to help or assist. You just want those sneakers, right? You know what you want. You want the sneakers, but it feels like you're on a never-ending quest without a map. So that frustration you'd feel is the same emotion that your visitors experience with a website that is not transparent or easy to navigate. So they've arrived, okay, they hit your main page, and they hope to find what they are looking for. But they're lost in these twists and turns of your site. So they're clicking that exit button right away. A well-structured website, on the other hand, is like that store that's having a clear signage. That's it has well-organized aisles and helpful staff that's pointing you to the right direction. And let's not forget the importance of a straightforward About Us page or an easily accessible FAQ section. So they're like the store directory and information booth, guiding your visitors, answering their questions, and essentially saying, we are here to help and we value your time. So a great example for this is IKEA. Have you ever walked into an IKEA, into one of their stores? It's unique when it comes to design and navigation. So when you enter, you are greeted with this, it's a pathway, right? It's a pathway that guides you through the different sections of the store, from living rooms to kitchens to bedrooms, bath, outdoors, right? And the flow is natural, right? Even though the store is massive, it doesn't feel overwhelming because of the clarity of their layout. So you have signs guiding you. There's arrows on the floor that tells you exactly where to go, and there are clear sections for each product type, right? Plus, they have those little shortcuts, those little doorways in between the different sections. So if you know exactly where to go, you can just take those shortcuts and not navigate through that entire path. Now, imagine bringing this IKEA experience to your website. It should offer the same clarity and the same direction you would get from IKEA, right? So your visitors should feel guided, and that they shouldn't feel that they're ever lost on your website. And it's not just about having a clean or neat homepage. It's about structuring your content so users intuitively know where to click next or what to do next. Just like how in IKEA, you move from the sofas and then you move to the coffee tables, right? It makes sense how the different sections are structured together and how you flow through it. And remember the little details like having a clear About Us page or an easy to find FAQ section. These are like the IKEA tags that give you more information about their products, right? They tell your visitors, hey, we're transparent about who we are and what we do and how we can help you, right? So every time, I haven't been to IKEA in a while, but back when I lived in California, I used to come frequently. And every time I leave the store, besides maybe with more things that I intended to buy, I feel satisfied with my visits because it was seamless, it was efficient, and it was enjoyable. And that's the vibe that we want for our website visitors. You want them leaving thinking, hey, that was easy. I'm trusting this brand, right? So ask yourself, is your website the IKEA of your industry? And if not, maybe it's time for some redecorating. Now let's chat about something pretty essential, okay? It's the content. Of course, websites have to have content. You know, when you're scrolling through a website and you stumble across this blog post or a video that just speaks to your current situation, as though it was tailored towards the problem that you're experiencing, and that's the moment that we want, right? That's what we want our visitors to feel. So think about the last time you were maybe searching for a recipe. I don't know, say a chocolate cake, right? You come across these two different sites. The first one, it lists the ingredients and the steps, which is what you were looking for. But the second one, it doesn't only give you the recipe, but it also offers tips on what kind of chocolate is best, or how to get that perfect spongy texture, and even maybe a quick video tutorial on how to do certain things. So which site would you trust more? So of course it's the second one, right? Why? It's because it's giving you more value than what you were expecting. So it's not just about the basics, it's about going the extra mile for the user or the visitors. Now apply this to your website, right? It's not just about stating facts or features about your product or service. It's about providing real value that enhances the user's knowledge and experience. So write blogs that answer common questions, or maybe create videos that demonstrate the benefits of your products. Share testimonials that resonate with potential customers. When users see that you're not just about making money, but you're genuinely interested in helping them, their trust in your brand, it just skyrockets. Okay, and word of mouth is powerful. If they find value in your content, they're likely to share it with friends, families, and maybe colleagues. And just like that, your brand's trust circle just expands, right? It's getting bigger and bigger. So to sum it up, think of your website content as a treasure trove of information, right? And not just information, but solutions for your visitors. So you got to make them think, wow, they really get me. They understand what I'm going through. And trust me, that is a game changer. Once your visitors have that kind of feeling, that changes the game for you. And your homework tonight, okay, I'd love for you to jot down 3 ways that you can amp up the value in your current website and your website content. And we'll make the web a more, helpful place, right? So one side at a time. Okay, so now let's shift gears in a bit and dive into something that's a little more technical but extremely important: the security and responsiveness of your website. Okay? Have you ever been in a website that got that dreaded not secure message, or have you ever tried viewing it from your mobile device and it just looks wonky, right? That's frustrating. So let's go ahead and unpack that experience. So imagine walking into a store, let's say a brand new, let's use IKEA again, right? A brand new IKEA outlet. So the door, when you open the door, it's creaky, half the lights are out, and the display just looks like they're about to fall apart. So would you trust buying a fancy bookshelf or like a sofa from there? Probably not, right? Similarly, when visitors come to your site and they are greeted with a slow loading time, maybe a weird layout, or worse, you get those security warnings, right? It's just like that dodgy, ill-maintained IKEA store, right? They're going to think, the first thing they're going to think is this website safe? Or will my credit card details be secure? Or is this even a legitimate business, or just someone trying to scam people, which is happening right now, right? There's a lot of scam websites out there. Now, on the flip side, think about entering an IKEA where everything is just in place, right? The displays are tempting and you can easily navigate through the aisles, finding exactly what you need. It's organized, right? It feels safe. And you're ready to buy that coffee table or whatever it is that you want to buy. And that's how your website should feel, right? It should feel organized, it should feel safe, and it should feel trustworthy. So let's break this down. The security piece of this, it's non-negotiable. You gotta make sure that it's secured. So ensure you have that little padlock symbol, right? The SSL certification on your website. It's a simple way of telling your visitors that your details are safe with us. And secondly, the responsiveness of your website. And this is all about how your website adapts to different devices, right? In a world where we are glued to our screens, where it be mobile devices, right? Your phones, your iPads, tablets, laptops, desktops, whatever. So your site should look and work seamlessly across different devices. Make sure to test on 3 different platforms: mobile, tablet, and desktop browser. So if you're on your mobile phone and you're pinching to zoom in, that's not a website, a mobile responsive design, right? So that's when this is the time where you think about, okay, what am I going to do for my website viewers, for especially mobile viewers? And wrapping up this segment, I want to leave you with a tiny task. Okay, so tonight, try accessing your website from different devices. Try it from your phone, a tablet, and your laptop or your desktop computer. Okay. Now note down any glitches or issues that you see, and then start working on those. Right? Remember that in the digital world, first impressions are lasting. This shouldn't be an afterthought. Make sure your site is trust-filled and really on a stellar state. Okay. All right. Now let's dive into a topic that's essential for today's online businesses, and this is something I rave about every day. Okay, social proof. So picture this: you're searching for a home, searching for a new house. You stumble upon two realtors' websites. One, one realtor is just brimming with client testimonials, success stories, photos of happy families outside their new homes, and engaging video tours of homes that are for sale. And the other is just a plain list of properties, right? There's no personal touch. It's just giving you, here you go, here's a list. Now, between these two, who instills more confidence in you for finding that dream home, right? It's the first one, right? Because it's all about that social proof. Now, let's take a real world example, okay? So imagine a realtor named Heidi. Okay, so Heidi's website stands out in the crowd. Why? Because here's what you will find. There's client testimonials, right? There's genuine feedback, not just copy and paste. They're genuine feedback from happy homeowners, and they each detail how Heidi surpassed their expectations to pinpoint the perfect house for them. There are video tours, right? But not just any tours. They cover the entire neighborhood. Okay? Heidi highlights local schools, parks, even a nice quaint coffee shop down the street. So it's giving the viewers a vivid sense of what life is gonna be in that location. Third, success stories, right? So there's in-depth case studies of families that she has assisted, not just buying a home, but maybe, if Heidi helped them with improve their credit before they bought a home, right? That's an additional value, right? Say a young couple just taking a plunge into their first home buying experience. So they're anxious, but they were thoroughly guided by Heidi. These are the success stories that you're gonna see. And four, there are interactive maps, right? So showcasing properties that she has successfully dealt with and marked with reviews from clients in those regions, right? Imagine that, and even spotlighting the local attractions in the area. So pause for a moment and consider this. If you were on the hunt, if you were looking either to buy or sell, wouldn't all this amplify your trust in Heidi? So it feels like her past clients are right there. They're vouching for her expertise and dedication and her care for her clients. So social proof is not merely a tool for flaunting achievements. It's a very strategic bridge of trust. And it's important in sectors where personal relationships and dependability are just required, right? For like real estate, for example. So a challenge for everyone tuning in: go ahead and scrutinize, right? Scrutinize your digital footprint right now. Okay, is it echoing the essence of Heidi's approach? Ask yourself, are you capitalizing on the strength of your past successes, your past triumphs, to cement that trust that you want to gain from new potential customers? If the answer is no, maybe it's high time to harness the potential of social proof, because it's real, it's influential, and possibly the change that you need right now, the change that you need, that your business is searching for. And lastly, we're going to talk about that magic button that I mentioned earlier, right? Have you ever heard of David Ogilvy? I don't know if I'm saying it right, Ogilvy or Ogilvy. He is often referred to as the father of advertising, right? And he once brilliantly stated that unless your advertising contains a big idea, it will pass like a ship in the night. So let's dive a little deeper into that thought, okay? So we touch upon the essence of a CTA, or call to action, right? Think of it this way. If you're at a concert, you were immersed in that energy, okay? And that rhythm of that music. But if the artist ended without an encore or even a hint of what's coming up next, you probably feel cheated, wouldn't you? And That's your website without a well-placed CTA or call to action. So there's a lot of promise and then it just ends abruptly. Now let's talk about prominence and the location. Where should you put your CEA and how pronounced does it need to be, right? These are the two pillars of a successful CTA. So prominence is all about making your CTA stand out, but not overwhelming for your visitors. It's like that concert where the artist doesn't beg for applause, but absolutely commands it. Okay, so your CTA needs to have that commanding presence. And in terms of location, imagine attending the concert, but the main event, right, the artist that you actually paid to see, performs in this small obscured corner of the venue, right? So that's not the experience you were hoping for, right? So the same goes for your website's CTA. If it's too far down the page, visitors might miss it, right? Or if it's too aggressive and it's screaming right in front of them before they even read your content, then you're risking to scare them right away. So a properly placed CTA, it's about guiding your audience, whether it's to sign up for a newsletter, buy a product, book a consult, whatever it is, your CTA should gently steer your visitors to that direction. And as a fun analogy, again, another IKEA analogy, have you ever been lost in an IKEA? Do you remember desperately looking for those guiding signs or exits or maybe going to the restroom? And that's how a visitor feels on a website with a poorly placed CTA, right? So make your site user-friendly, direct them well, and they will keep coming back. All right, everyone, let's quickly stroll down what we've covered today. Let's do a recap. So first, we talked about the IKEA effect on your website. Okay, so just like walking through an IKEA store, your website's layout and navigability are crucial if you want your visitors to stay. So it should guide visitors naturally through their journey, right? Making everything accessible and making them feel right at home. And next, we dived into the content with a secret sauce. Right? Remember, it's not only about broadcasting information. It's about connecting, engaging, and resonating with your audience, right? And delivering value or added value is key to this. And lastly, we've unveiled the magic behind the button, those CTAs, those call to actions. So their placement, their prominence can be a game changer for you, right? David Ogilvy wasn't kidding when he emphasized the weight of a strong call to action. Now it's homework time. So for this week, I want you guys to all take a closer look at your websites. Okay, analyze the layout, analyze the content, and especially those CTAs. How prominent are they, and where are they located? Are they guiding the users, or are you guiding the users to that call to action? Right, they have to be strategically placed. So get some feedback. Right, maybe ask a friend or a family member to navigate your site and watch their journey. Or even better is if you put your website here. So we have a couple of people here in the group that actually does website audits. I don't know, I'm going to volunteer them right now. So put your website on the comment, and then we'll get feedback, right? So feedback helps you improve. So we'll see what everybody thinks if you're following these very useful framework, right? And remember, every piece of feedback is a step closer to getting that trust and the engagement that you need. So let's make your websites, your digital spaces welcoming and effective. And there we have it, right? There we have it, friends. Today we went through the digital aisles of trust. So we unveiled the secrets behind a navigable website, the art of compelling and value-driven content, and the undeniable power of a well-placed CTA. It's not just about having a digital storefront, it's about creating a space where visitors feel welcomed, understood, and confident. So again, trust isn't built in a day, but with consistent steps in the right direction, remember, your website can be a beacon of credibility and authenticity. So as you step forward, as you move on past today, remember to put your visitors first. Then add in some genuine social proof, and always, always, always guide them with clarity. Right? So thanks for joining me in this exploration, and I can't wait to see the trust-filled transformations on your website. We will look at your website below, right? And we will comment on it. So just give us time to audit. I see that you guys are already putting in your websites here. We got a couple, so we'll give some feedback. And again, these feedbacks are helpful. And until then, all right, stay trustworthy. I'll see you on the next one.